There's no way around it. If we're going to get serious about the truth claims of the New Testament in particular, there is very much a real sense that the living God is present among these people. And without that presence, I contend that we don't really need Christianity. Hey everybody, happy holidays. I hope you're doing well. Today's message, it's coming from the book of Matthew, chapter 1, starting in verse 18. Before we jump in, I want to say thank you and welcome to the Christians who are celebrating Advent. And I want to say thank you and welcome to the non-Christians who, for whatever reason, decide they want to check out this message. If you're atheist, if you're agnostic, if you're a Christian curious, in some ways this message is for you especially, although I hope it's a little bit for all of us. Let's check it out. This is how the birth of Jesus Christ took place. When Mary, his mother, was engaged to Joseph, before they were married, she became pregnant by the Holy Spirit. Joseph, her husband, was a righteous man. Because he didn't want to humiliate her, he decided to call off their engagement quietly. As he was thinking about this, an angel from the Lord appeared to him in a dream and said, "Joseph, son of David, don't be afraid to take Mary as your wife, because the child she carries was conceived by the Holy Spirit. She will give birth to a son, and you will call him Jesus, because he will save his people from their sins." Now all of this took place so that what the Lord had spoken through the prophet would be fulfilled. "Look, a virgin will become pregnant and give birth to a son, and they will call him Emmanuel." Emmanuel means God with us. If we take in these stories, if we take in these accounts and not eliminate our skepticism, but just suspend it a little bit to try to understand what is unfolding in the story, it might help us be able to grasp the larger messages without getting caught up too much about what's going on under the hood. Sometimes that can just be, it's not relevant. It's just not always the most relevant. Here's the big thing. Here's the big thing for me. We've got two names for the baby of Mary, who was became pregnant by way of the Holy Spirit. We have, first of all, Jesus, which means the Lord is salvation. And we have Emmanuel, which means God with us. God is with us. Now, if we put those two together, what might we take away from those names in conjunction? Well, the pretty straightforward conclusion might be that what salvation looks like from the Lord is presence, the presence of God. It is God's presence that is healing and restoring and renewing and reconciling. This is the big Christian claim. This is like when we talk about Christology or the way of Jesus and study his ministry theologically. We usually come away with three big ideas: the incarnation, the self-denial or the sacrifice or the willingness to die to self, and then the resurrection. So we would say the life, death, and resurrection. You'll hear that all the time in Christian circles, the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus. All of these things are really, really critical for most Christians. There's no way around it. If we're going to get serious about the truth claims of the New Testament in particular, there is very much a real sense that the living God is present among these people. And without that presence, I contend that we don't really need Christianity. So here we go. This one is for the agnostics and the atheists. And I'm just going to say, when it comes to just morality, just talking about morality, I actually don't think we need the Bible at all. I think a lot of atheists and agnostics and non-Christians are at least as moral, if not more moral, than many Christians. A lot of non-Christians are more ethical than a lot of Christians. The only real thing that separates Christians from non-Christians is the sincere belief that this Jesus really did live. And that life was a big part of God's plan to save the world. It's wild to think that salvation is accomplished just by God kind of showing up. There isn't a magic to that per se. I mean, there's a lot of mysterious, interesting things going on in the text we just read, but on a core level, we get that the message of God's mission for the world largely involves God just showing up. So I say to you, you can let yourself off the hook a little bit. I'm not going to judge you for any lack of faith. I don't think God condemns us for a lack of faith. The way I see it, it's kind of God's job to show up and convince us that there's a God. And if you haven't had experiences that compel you, if you haven't sensed that Holy Spirit of God gripping your heart, your mind, your whole self in a revelatory way to demonstrate, oh my goodness, I believe God is here with me. God is with us. If you haven't had that experience, that's on God. The only thing I would ask is that you would remain open just a little bit. Just a little bit. Willing to suspend your skepticism. In return, I will hold out the possibility that I'm wrong. And in that suspension of certainty on your part and on my part, we will have the opportunity to be all the more present with each other, because we'll really be curious about one another. We'll really be interested in how the other sees and experiences the world. And that could be pretty cool. That might even be a little bit healing and reconciling and renewing. Oh my goodness, that might just be a little bit of salvation. For those of you who celebrate Merry Christmas, and to everyone else, Happy Holidays. I wish you the very best. We'll see you soon. Peace.